Uh,
After seeing that thumbnail, I'm sure you're very disappointed to see us here. Um,
mhm.
Today's topic, and this is our first topic, it's waivers. And most of you who are watching have played fantasy football before, and you understand are important. Fantasy baseball is a grind. Waivers are probably the biggest key to your success. Um, in fantasy baseball, you should be churning the bottom of your roster. Baseball is a very high variance sport. Even the best players can go 0 for 8 across a couple games. You never see LeBron James go scoreless. Like it
Right.
doesn't happen.
Yep.
Um, both hitters and pitchers get very, very streaky, and those are the streaks that you want to ride. There's um, a hitter will be relevant for 2 or 3 weeks out of the season. But if you have him for those 2 or 3 weeks out of the season, they can almost single handedly lead
Sure.
you to wins.
Yep.
Um, you've got prospects that are constantly called up throughout the season. You've got quad A guys, and what I mean by that is guys who are not good enough to be regular everyday major league players, and so they go back and forth between AAA and the majors. They might get 30, 40 games a year, something like that. Like I said, it is a grind, but if you stick with it, if you work waivers, if you understand how to spot players, you don't want to look at next week. Everybody's looking at, two-start pitchers next week, or what hitter is going to be in Colorado and Cincinnati next week. You want to look a couple weeks out, especially if you can spare the roster spot. Find that two-start pitcher who's going to be in Detroit and Seattle.
Yep. Yep. You hit the nail on the head. It's waiver wire. Never stop. Never give up. This is the way you win championships. I lived that last season in my dynasty league and had very good luck picking up guys uh, throughout the season, from the first week to the last month of the fantasy baseball season. I grabbed Justin Steele the first couple weeks of the season. Y'all know what he did. He was what? Oh shit, I missed it. Damn it. Anyway, Justin Steele, 18th pitcher in fantasy points last year, 862 points. It was nice to have him. I'm going to franchise him and keep him an extra year or whatever the term is. I can't remember what it was. Another one was Kikuchi from Toronto that I grabbed right before May. Um, Pitched 167 innings, got me 700 some points. He had more points than Charlie Morton in Atlanta and Verlander, both guys that were drafted way higher than Kikuchi was. And the great thing about our league, and not all leagues are like this, but we had to start a couple relief pitchers, and he was dual eligible for starting and relief. So I was able to plug him in weeks that it made sense with the matchups, and get an extra start, because you're looking for starts in fantasy baseball for sure. If you probably average, like, I don't know, 7, 8 starts. I constantly had 9 or 10 a lot of last season, and it helped me greatly. I scored the most fantasy points in the league. Didn't win a championship, but came in second. But yeah, whatever. Oh well. And the other couple other big, Soler was one of them I grabbed as well in May. Rode him, started him a lot. It worked out. And Alexis Diaz, the closer for the Reds, was probably my best get. That was nice. I got him in May. He was the best closer in baseball last year.
Yeah, he was.
And um, another one I had was William Contreras, catcher from the Brewers. Um, I rode, oh fuck, what's his name? Alejandro Kirk, and he just sucked balls forever. But there's just not a lot of good pitchers there once you get past uh, what, Rauschman, and who else?
Those are catchers.
Yeah, catchers. That's what I meant to say. My bad. Fuck off, Matt. But Contreras was great. He finished catcher number 2 behind Adley Rutschman. It was great. I had not constantly been on waivers. I'm talking every day. That football's different, man. You can kind of put that app away for 3-4 days and check it in a minute and see where you're at. Baseball's not that way. Even if it's a baseball league where you just do weekly moves or even biweekly moves versus daily moves, I still was grinding every day trying to make my team better, even if it was for a week, because I just needed the win.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And really you need to understand too, just like in fantasy football, how do your waivers work? Does the order reset every week? Do you get that number one waiver priority and you can hang on to it until you burn it? Or do you use Fab? If you use Fab, there's strategy that goes into that. How much do you want to spend for somebody that you may only use for a couple weeks? And just like football, pickups that you make early in the season are going to be of greater value because in theory you can get a longer period of productivity out of them as opposed to somebody who you pick up at the end of August. You'll also need to be conscious of any transaction limits that your league may have. um,
Yeah.
and really it just
Yeah.
speaks to understanding your league settings before you draft. As soon as you agree to join a league, go onto the website and look at your league settings, look at your league scoring. There are leagues where you get start limits. You can only have 7 starts per week or something like that.
Sure.
And we're going to get into more tips and tricks as we get closer to
We're
the
doing
season here.
we're
But
doing that Thursday, I believe.
yeah.
We're talking about league scorings types and settings and the league details and stuff on that. So on Thursday to give you guys a leg up to. Listen, it's never too early to identify guys that you're liking for this upcoming season. If there's evidence that can help prove a second half breakout from last season wasn't just a fluke, then you kind of already got a leg up on the competition and your league mates. Get aggressive. Identify guys. You put yourself in the best position to compete this season.